And now we have been hinting at it, and we've been inching toward this slowly throughout the whole episode. We've been inching towards it. Eddington, Sharon, please take it away. You have sat down there
So patiently.
patiently. This is the thing you are here for. Tell us about Eddington.
Well, talking about inching slowly towards something, I think that sums up the film. Wow. Basically, let me go to the beginning.
Love it, Sharon.
This is a film set in May 2020, where it's a small town America, and our main character is played by Joaquin Phoenix, who is the sheriff of this small town. He has two deputies, and it's a town where nothing much is happening. And those of us, obviously, when you hear May 2020, two quite seismic events happened during 2020.
Yes.
The first one affected sort of us pandemic, globally. It was the pandemic. And in May, we were all around the world. Most people were in lockdown in May 2020. And then also in May 2020, there was a death of a man in America that sent ripples around the world. And that was the death of George Floyd.
Yeah.
And these two events sort of converge in this small town. And you see how as sort of social cohesion falls apart in this small town, you see the life of Joaquin Phoenix character, the cohesion of his life begins to fall apart as well. And then he makes some choices and he does some things that sort of feed into that idea that sort of society as we know is disintegrating. And for him particularly, everything, all his sort of things that offer him stability are all start disintegrating. And his life very, very slowly, very, very slowly descends into chaos. And we see it all unravel, these structures, these relationships, these things that, you know, his sort of fixed points disintegrate, and he does as well to many extent. And so some of the touch points in it is you meet Pedro Pascal's character is the mayor, who is very much into about let's enforce the lockdown, let's protect ourselves against COVID, and also about looking to the future, investing in data and building a great big sort of data warehouse in their town.
Yeah.
And all these things that sort of goes against Joaquin Phoenix character, the sheriff. He's asthmatic, so he doesn't want to wear a mask. He doesn't want to do the social isolation things. He doesn't like the idea of this progress, this big data center, and the fact that deals are being made to sell off lands that could be sort of tribal lands as well as they're part of their town. He's against some of these things, and this sort of confrontation between the two starts off as just like a friendly rivalry, and that with sort of echoes in the past just descends into sort of violence and chaos in the end.
Yeah.
Violence, chaos, and confusion.
Confusion. That's as polite as I can be about it, because I found this film achingly slow. And it got to the point where even just like halfway through, I was thinking, when is this film going to end? And then every time you think, oh, this is heading somewhere, and it's coming to, oh, is this going to do? And then it just like, oh, and it just keeps going, and it just kept going. And then you think, when it got to the end, it was just like, is that it now? Can we go now? So it had some interesting ideas, but the delivery of it was just, you know, it wasn't email, it was like Royal Mail 1855 or something. It was just slow in its delivery, and to me, it lost that impact. I didn't feel that tension, that growing sense of menace, that growing sense of things are falling apart. I just felt, come on, just get on with it. Tell the story. And it introduced some other characters like his wife.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Well, I'm trying to think what her she's in the picture. Oh, I've
Emma
lost her
Stone.
name.
Emma
Yes,
Stone.
Emma Stone. Yes, and she gets caught up in that we're in this sort of guru type man. He's like a weird. Austin Butler plays this.
Oh
he's just
yeah.
a sort of outlying figure, you know, who's a conspiracy theorist who sort of sweeps her up and sweeps her away, and leaving again this sort of this void in his life. That he fills this void with just
apparently slow moving nothing.
Yeah, but it was incredibly slow moving. So I can't say any more about that. But Shawnee, over to you.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I hated this quite as much as Sharon, but I did. I must admit, uh, yeah, it was so long. It was. I was finding myself, but I could feel Sharon doesn't normally get like that, but I could because Sharon was sat next to me, and I could just, like Sharon sometimes feels my Sharon. You feel
Yeah,
my
I can
huffy.
pick up your body language.
You pick up my body language and huffy enough. I was thinking, I can tell Sharon's really, really struggling with this one. She's struggling with this one, bless her. Yeah. But no, I didn't. I thought it was really, really confusing, a bit silly in parts. Totally. I don't know where some of the threads were going from, and like Sharon said, with the guru sort of thing just turning up and
yeah.
and it was just odd. It was just really, really odd, really, really confusing, and totally just like way, way too long. It felt like 100 years. You know what I mean? He was there.
2.5 hours.
And
Two
I
and a half hours.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the reason probably why I was so pleased that I saw Nobody, because it was like wham, you know what I mean? After, and that's what I say, seeing that afterwards, it was like, that's a perfect film. That's what we want. 90
I know.
minutes,
I'll
not
tell you
375 years.
I'll tell you one thing, that Nobody 2 is quite a palate cleanser, because I had a chance to see Together. It was either I would see Nobody 2 first and then Together afterwards, or see Together and then Nobody 2. And I'm so glad I saw Nobody 2 second.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like, oh, that was icky. Okay. Cleanse it. Cleanse my mind.
Yeah.
Cleanse my mind. All right. So how many stars would you give Eddington then?
Okay, well, I let Sharon go, but I'm going to say I didn't quite hate so much as Sharon, but I did find it real slog. Had some interesting concepts, but it's going to be a 2 for me. This one, it's a 2, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so I'm veering between a 1 and a 2.
Mm.
I would, to be kind,
Yeah.
I'd give it a 2.
Oh yeah,
But
don't be kind, Sharon. You don't deserve. Not. I could tell
to
the
me,
way.
but personally, it was a 1
Yeah,
because
I'd agree with
I
that for
found
you.
very little to redeem it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
one of those films because I keep a note of the films I've seen.
Yeah.
I know that give it a little while, I'll have forgotten all about it.
I think as the
It'll be
first time.
a memory
Yeah,
of like tedium.
I've when we've been a few times before. Sharon was quite agitated actually. It's the first one of the first times I've seen her like, oh my God, like angry almost. And I mean, Sharon never ever gets angry, no matter what situation. But
Oh
it was
no, but
almost like that was too long.
there was a secret screaming you guys went to where Sharon left.
That's true. Yeah, but that was a
Oh,
different concept. But I mean,
yeah.
there were different reasons why
I
Sharon
left
left
that
that one.
because I thought it was
Yeah,
irreligious. But
it was a religious one. But this one, yeah, was
it was just I
yeah.
thought
I mean, I could just tell. It was like,
wasted
oh, poor
my
Joe.
time.
We give her a big hug before we had to go.
I just feel like it wasted my time.
Yeah, I
And
know, I
there are
know.
not many films I regard like that. I mean, I actually despise some films
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
of their sort of the conception of them.
yeah.
But really didn't like this one because I just thought it was a waste of talent
Waste of time.
on screen, and they just wasted my evening.
They did, yeah, because
Uh,
that was the first comment you made when the film finished. Well, that's 3.5 hours of my life I won't get back.
oh my God, Sharon, you sound like
Sharon,
me.
yeah, I know. It was like
No, you
it
sound
was,
like me talking about Transformers the first night or the last night or whatever it was, because that was almost exactly my quote after watching that film.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, what a waste of talent and effort. Like, okay, so all right, okay, so that is 1.5 stars for Eddington. 1.5 stars for